Hello.
Hello.
We recently visited Ramrod Key.
What do I say? And this is the footage that we took.
Enjoy.
Now, right here, as we go through,
Hey Evan, where are those things swimming?
well, what you can see here is a mangrove snapper. Now, these are usually found underneath mangroves. They're very vital to the ecosystem. This is because they utilize mangroves as a nursery ground, and when they eventually go out to sea, they're going to be connecting energy transfer between a mangrove ecosystem and the overall reef system. Now, while they're just mixed in here somewhere, there are also things known as a schoolmaster snapper, very, very similar to a mangrove snapper. Now, among the mangrove snapper, you also can see various schoolmaster snapper. They essentially use the roots of mangroves, the exact same thing as the nursery ground, but instead of going to the open ocean, other reefs, they're usually going to patrol these perhaps more brackish waters around the mangroves, and will eventually serve as food for larger things like a lot of barracuda and other piscivorous species. Hey Nick, what are those roots doing there?
Now these roots are red mangrove roots. These roots are important plants in coastal ecosystems, and the roots are easy to recognize because they grow above the water along with arching shapes called prop roots. These red mangroves are the closest in the mangrove zonation. There are three true mangroves that grow in this typical zonation: the red, black, and white mangroves. Are you wondering how these red mangroves form? Red mangrove propagules are the seed of the mangroves, and they germinate and produce a radicle up to 12 inches long before. These roots do more than just hold the tree in place. They act as natural filters, trapping sediments and helping keep the water clear, as seen in this video. They also provide shelter and protection for many small fish, such as crabs, shrimp, and young lobsters. The underwater community that the red mangrove roots protect is called nursery. These provide a safe habitat for these small fish, crabs, and they protect them from storms, and they often hide among the roots.
I don't care, dude.
Furthermore, these red mangroves reduce erosion and protect the coastal habitats from waves and storms. Without these roots, many marine species would lose a safe nursery ground, and coastlines would be much more vulnerable to damage. Hey Evan, I still see some life around here. Can you tell them what they are?
Yeah, of course I can start talking about what's around here. Now, these little fish right here are saltwater sailfin molly. Now, not to be confused with something like mosquito fish, they play a very similar role. First of all, they do use these mangrove roots as breeding grounds, things like that. They also use it for protection against larger animals. Their main role is algae control. Without them, there would be zero way of keeping the algae under wraps. Besides that, though, they also manage decent amount of invertebrates, such as mosquito larvae.
Enough with the fish talk, Evan. I heard you yelling at people about some sponge.
Now, while it's kind of difficult to see here, we didn't have much real footage. What you're looking at right now is more biofilm on the roots. A lot of sponges will actually inhabit mangrove roots, such as this red boring sponge. Fire sponge is also very common here. This is because these roots, they provide ample amount of protection and shade. Now, sponges are extremely important, especially places like the Keys, because their main role is to filter out the water. And without filtered water, there is not a lot of sunlight that can beam down onto corals.
So this is it for our video.
That's about all, and we hope you enjoyed.
Give us an A, please.
Please, please, please,
Please, please, please, please, please.